Hi guys, welcome to my December videos. This is Pisces Priestess, and for any of those that are new joining my channel, I want to thank you. And I also want to thank you guys for the last time I checked, there was 347 followers, and that is just so amazing to me. Now I'm aware that that's a small number. Some tarot readers have, well, I guess YouTube readers, some YouTube people, YouTubers, they have millions of followers, but I'm in my corner of the world. I'm one person. This is my story, and I can't believe that there are over 300 people who watch my videos and care about my messages, and that to me is just the best thing. I never thought that this would take off so fast, so I want to thank each and every one of you for for subscribing to my channel. It means so much to me. Your comments mean so much, guys. And here I am in December recording the videos for you now. And, part of me can't believe it. Part of me is like, it's December, So, and it is an intense month indeed. We are in Sagittarius season this month. And at the end of the month, we will be entering in Capricorn season. Now, this month is all about, I would say the first half of the month is all about communication. It's all about enlightening truth. It's all about our beliefs. It's all about our higher knowledge. And I say this because we have a third house and a ninth house opposition. Every month we have, the moon has a chance to be full in light, and it has a chance to be completely absent in light. So we call that a full moon and a new moon. The new moon is going to be happening in a few days on the 18th, and it's going to be a new moon in Sagittarius. We had the full moon already. So if you're watching this, we experienced a full moon on the December 3rd. And you guys know me, I like to cover the astrology in my intro videos, and we'll talk a little bit more about some things that apply to the individual signs in the videos. So the first thing that really happened in December was that full moon. That full moon completely changed my life. It was very enlightening. It was a very mutable moon. We always have a mutable moon before we have a cardinal moon. And that's very interesting. I am a mutable sign. The mutable signs are Virgo, Pisces, Gemini, and Sagittarius. We're in a mutable season, okay? And it makes sense why mutable would come before cardinal, because mutable signs are all about change. It's all about adaptability. So a lot of people don't realize this, but whatever season we're in, it kind of flows with that kind of change. So when we reach a mutable signs represent the end. We start out with Aries, and then we go, that's a cardinal, and then we go to Taurus, and that's fixed. And then we move to Gemini, and that is mutable. And then there's 3. And then we start again to Cancer, and that will be a cardinal. So we've reached Sagittarius season, and that means that it's like a cycle almost that's ending. And it makes sense that it's mutable, because in order to create action, which is what a cardinal sign would be, and that would be Capricorn energy coming in, we had to initiate change. You can't apply action to something before changing, okay? You have to make the decision to change before you can, make action towards something. So that's how our universe works, and right now it's a time for change. Everybody is changing in so many different ways. You thought that was just in Scorpio season, huh? But it's definitely kicking off here in Sagittarius season. Another thing is, around this time of year, there's a lot of other changes happening as well. We come up on the winter solstice, and that's the shortest day of the year. Very, very powerful day of the year. That would be on the 21st. Some people consider it to be on the 22nd. But I would say the 21st is the winter solstice. Now, we're jumping a little bit ahead. We have a few things happening before that. So we covered the full moon in Gemini. So that was completions, and that's happening in different areas of our life, you guys. I'll talk a little bit about that in the videos here. And then we had a Mercury retrograde on the same day as the Gemini full moon. I'm sure if you watch other readers, they're talking about this as well. It's very interesting because Gemini is ruled by Mercury. So for Mercury to go retrograde on the same day as a Gemini full moon, very significant. We had that. It's been retrograde for a couple weeks now, week and a half, and it will go back direct on the 22nd, okay? Then, of course, I wanted to mention on the 18th, we have a Sagittarius stellium in the sky. Okay, that's very important in different areas of our life, guys. Very important to know where Sagittarius is for us. For example, for me, a Pisces, Sagittarius is my 10th house. Okay, so that's all about career, it's all about long-term goals, things like that. So it's wise to know where Sagittarius falls in your chart and also in your personal chart. In my personal chart, Sagittarius falls in my 12th house, in my 11th house. So there's going to be a stellium there for me, and well, for us. And what a stellium is when three or more planets are coupled together in the sky. So on that day, okay, especially very, very important for Sagittarius, but very important for all of us because we're all under the same universe. We all connected to the same light. And, you know, this is going to be very, very important for us. All about our beliefs, all about higher knowledge, even travel, philosophy. So we're going to have the sun in Sagittarius on the 18th. We're going to have the moon. We're going to have Saturn. We're going to have Venus. And we're also going to have, what is that last planet? Mercury? It might be Mercury. But I know that there are 5 planets. It is Mercury. It is Mercury. Mercury is going to be in Sagittarius until... I know it moves into Capricorn, but it might not move into Capricorn this month. I'm not sure. So it will be Mercury though. I don't have here that Mercury's moving right now. So there's going to be that powerful stellium in Sagittarius. I wanted to mention that to you guys. We had Chiron go direct in Pisces. Very, very important. Moving forward with pain. Whereas before we were dealing with a lot of past pain. So now this is the chance to heal ourselves in the moment. We went back into the past for a really long time to heal past wounds, okay? That's the wounded healer, Chiron. We had Mars enter Scorpio on the 9th. We have a Saturn entering Capricorn. Okay, that is one of the most, I would say one of the most important astrological aspects this month. Okay, we all have Capricorn in a different spot in our chart, you guys, but Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. So Saturn is coming home, all right? I'm going to try my best to do Saturn videos. I think I'm going to schedule them in around, because I never do my videos before around the 15th. I like the month to take its course for a couple months. That way I can work with the energy. I can feel what's already happened. It comes out in my readings. We could talk about what's happening now, and then we can talk about what's gonna happen. So a past, present, and future type of thing. With that being said, I'll probably wait for Saturn to be in Capricorn for about a week. And at the same time, I have a Cap rising, so I believe I'm going to be doing a lot of meditations and just initiations with my ruling planet. So yeah, I'll probably be able to get to those Saturn videos beginning of January, I want to say. Okay, so be on the lookout for my Saturn videos. I'm going to record what I think Saturn means in astrology and what I think Saturn will be doing. We're all going to have our karma shift. Saturn rules is the lord of karma. So, you know, instead of it being in the 9th house of Sagittarius, it's going to move into Capricorn, the 10th house, but it's a different house for all of us. So after that, Saturn moves into Capricorn. I mean, it's like boom, boom, boom. 18th, we have a new moon. 19th, we have Saturn moving into Capricorn. 21st, we have a winter solstice. The sun moves into Capricorn the 21st too. On the 25th, Venus moves into Capricorn. And of course, for those of you who celebrate Christmas, that would be Christmas there. And then we have a happy numerology year. I myself, as an astrologer, I consider the new year to start on March 20th when the sun enters Aries. Yay! That will be that's when the whole universe shifts paradoxes, right? But numerology has a factor here. So instead of 2017, universal year 1, and I should do a whole video on universal year 1. Our universe has these 10-year cycles, right? And 2017 was a brand new cycle. It was a universal year 1. And I'm not hearing a lot of astrologers talking about that. So I might do my best to put out a video soon about that as well. Perhaps at the end of January when we're in a universal year 2. So, you know, we're officially initiating, and we've ended the first chapter to a new cycle, and then we'll be entering chapter 2, universal year 2. Also, I do believe next month we have an Aquarius eclipse. I did put that down here at the bottom, but I believe I will talk about that a little bit more next month. And another thing I didn't put here is around the 19th, when Saturn moves into Capricorn, we're also going to be on the cusp of prophecy, okay? Very powerful cusp. And I believe it would end on the 25th when Venus enters Capricorn. So very powerful month. That was just a little bit of my basic notes. I don't want to make this intro video too long because my videos, guys, are pretty long this month. Now, I do want to talk a little bit about the readings that what you can look forward to in my video. So this month I wanted to do a 9-card spread because Sagittarius is the 9th sign. I'm using, I guess I should have got these out before, but I'm using my Indigo Angel deck. I thought that was so beautiful. Sagittarius is such a light sign. You know, they are the mutable fire sign, very, very light sign, very, very light energy. So I'm going to be using my Indigo Angel deck to get the first 9 cards, and then of course I'll be using the original Wider Ray Tarot. Kind of as clarifiers, but as more so as an extension, just to get a better idea of what the energies have been. I've done a few readings. Sorry guys, my voice is a little cracky, but I've done a few readings already, and they are very powerful, very, very powerful. They're a little bit longer because obviously there's 9 cards, and then I put 9 cards over that, so 9 plus 9 is 18, 8 plus 1 is 9. So I thought that was very beautiful to have some numerology playing. I like to have a theme sometimes, so I have this kind of 18 card spread this month, guys. It's a lot of cards, but it's what do you expect with this? Is kind of what these readings are becoming is kind of an overlook of the whole year. Okay, there's a lot of energy coming up, and it's because I'm a Pisces. You know, I represent the last house of the zodiac. So 12 is a very powerful number for me. You know, I didn't even really realize that, but we're in the 12th month. Spirit works in 12s a lot, and it's because 1 plus 2 is 3, and Spirit works in trinities. So this is a very powerful month numerology wise. The 12th of this month, 12/12, was a very powerful day as well. So we're really, really coming up on the end of a cycle here, guys, and December is what is the symbols behind that. It's kind of symbolic for that. So that's what I'm doing for the readings. And also I want to thank Capricorn and Sagittarius because I was looking, I wanted to start doing kind of some giveaways type of things, making my readings a little special. So I looked, I'm not sure how it is now, but I looked about the beginning of January. I looked at my videos, checked the feedback, and Capricorn had the most likes. Sagittarius had the most views. So I will be pulling an extra card for your guys' reading this month, and it's going to be from the Wisdom of the House of Knights. I figured, you know, that would be a nice, because these cards here really cover some hidden energies. It's all about the night and what's hidden. And since there's so much light going on, you know, it might be nice to know what's behind the scenes. So Sagittarius, Capricorn, thank you so much for liking my videos and for, you know, viewing my videos. It kind of worked out because this is your guys' birthday month, so happy birthday. This is my present to you. And next month we'll see who has the most views and who has the most likes, and I will do something fun with that. Also guys, I am adding sage this month to my videos. I have incense and I have sage. I think incense are a very, very powerful method of honoring the air element and honoring the fire element. Incense are air and fire, and that's exactly what we're dealing with this month, is Sagittarius, a fire sign, and air, Gemini. So I'm working with incense for everybody. That's for all the videos. I thought about maybe having that as my giveaway, like maybe some videos have an incense, but actually I'm just in need. These are very powerful energies this month, guys. I'm tapping into a lot of things behind the scenes. You know, I'm going to get some very powerful messages out here so that we could head into our new year, so we can head into 2018, I should say, with clear intent. There's been a lot that's happened this year. 2017 was an extremely enlightening year for me, and I hope it was for you guys too. Now, enlightening isn't always easy. It can be very hard to wake up to the truth and to see things that you didn't see before. So, excuse me, my throat chakra. But yeah, it can be very, very intense waking up to all these things. And I think we've come a long way. I think it's been extremely transforming, and I'm actually very proud of all of us, especially those of us who went inside, went inwards, and done the work needed. Those people, we're really going to be rewarded this month. We're really going to be rewarded next year, okay? So I do think that that's all, guys. Those are the readings I'm doing. I'm really excited to get the rest of them done. Very, very, very special, powerful messages. And other than that, you guys, we made it. It's the end of the year. I can't believe it. But I hope you have the rest of the, I don't know what time, when you guys are going to be watching this, but I hope you have the rest of the great, I always can't say that part. I hope you have, I hope the rest of your month is great. Okay, this is what I mean. There's a lot of energies. It's a lot to cover, but I'm going to do my best to just, you know, go with the flow. That's what's best for me. And, you know, maybe that will be what's best for you too, especially with all these energies going on here. Okay. I do hope you enjoy your readings this month, and I hope you enjoy your holiday and your new year. And other than that, I will talk to you guys next year. See you later. Hi, Gemini. Woohoo! Very important month for you guys. Welcome to your December tarot reading. So, well, first of all, I need to light this incense because incense are working with the air element, and obviously it's working. I feel like fire and air are just so, you know, it's just a really good way to honor those two elements together. Incense. So if you want to work with fire or air, and come on now, this month is all about fire and air. It's all Gemini and Sag. So we're going to be talking a lot today, or working with these energies rather, I should say, Sag and Gemini. Okay, so we're in Sagittarius season, and it's a very intense time of year. Every Sagittarius season, you guys have a full moon in your sign. Okay, full moons, whew, in your sign, whoa, that moon literally changed my whole life. Be like, straight up, that full moon in Gemini on the December 3rd, we started off the month right with that mug, and Mercury went retrograde on that same day. Like, woo. But you know, you guys offer, your energy offers an obscene amount of clarity, a lot of truth. It's mutable, so I do love you guys as mutable signs. I do very well with mutable energy. So you had that full moon on the 3rd, and then your ruling planet, Mercury, went retrograde until the 22nd. So we're still in the Mercury retrograde. And then we have a new moon in Sagittarius, which is your 7th house. Guys, this could be new love. This could be new beginnings in relationships. This could be a lot of things. So obviously this is pretty interesting because this is 1st house energy for you, and 7th house energy for you. Sagittarius is all about your 7th house. So I don't know how you guys are doing in the love area. We'll see what the cards have to say. But 7th house energy, it definitely highlights our relationships and partnerships. This is the 7th house of relationships and partnerships, our interaction with other people. So let's see. This is an important month for you. You and Sagittarius, this is important. Well, Capricorn this month too. So let's see if there's anything Geminian that I need to mention. I mentioned a lot of information in my intro video about astrology, but these videos are going to get longer. Okay, I told you we're doing an 9 card spread, and then we're doing 9 more cards on top of that, so 18. 8 plus 1 is 9, so we got 18 cards to work with today. Saturn is going into Capricorn, guys, but I'm really gonna, that's gonna be crunchy, but because it's a lot of work, but I'm gonna do it. We're gonna talk about Saturn entering Capricorn. So I guess we'll cover that at a later date. Sun entering Capricorn, all that. So as far as the Gemini energy, these energies fall in different places for you, but the most important is that full moon that we happen. So full moons in your sign, like I had a Pisces full moon a few months ago when it was Virgo season, and it's intense. Okay, I don't know what's more intense, a solar return or a lunar return. Like, or I guess it's not a lunar return unless you have a Gemini moon. So for any of the Gemini moons watching, that's a pretty intense energy. Okay, but these videos are going to be pretty long, so I don't want to make the intros too long. Another thing though, on the 18th, when the new moon is in Sagittarius, we have a Sagittarius stellium. So that's when 3 or more planets are in the sky together. So we're going to have Saturn. Oh my God. I cannot wait for you guys to have Saturn out of your opposite house. Like, I cannot even imagine Saturn in Virgo. Like, Saturn in Sagittarius is so, like, intense. And it's probably made your guys' karmic relationships, like, I don't know, as an astrologer, Saturn in the 7th means karmic relationships. It means karmic partnerships. And that's just a nuisance because it could place restrictions on your relationship. So if some of you have been single, I hope this new moon, and it's beautiful. I think on the 18th, it's no mistake that we have on the 18th a Sagittarius new moon in your 7th house. And then on the 19th, Saturn moves out of your 7th house into your 8th house. Now, 8th house Capricorn, 8th house Saturn, different story. We'll talk about it in another video. But there's going to be a stellium in your 7th house. So there's going to be lots of energy in the sky. I do believe you have Venus in your 7th house right now, because Venus will be moving into Capricorn on the 25th, Christmas. Weird. So yeah, and I know I don't typically celebrate Christmas that either, but if some of you do, no disrespect, that is a significant day. We have the winter solstice. That'll be cool. Okay, I think I might even try to squeeze in a video about that. That's on the 21st. So it's just interesting, the buildup of energy we have in Sagittarius. Okay, Sagittarius is all about expansion. It's all about higher thinking and higher knowledge. It's all about our personal beliefs, okay, what we believe in, and long distance travel, okay? So we have an opposition here between the 1st house and the 7th house. This is your energy. So this is all about self for you, Gemini. The 1st house is about self, and I say that because we have the full moon and we have the new moon, okay? That's how I'm doing my videos this month. So the most important messages here today for you are about yourself. The 1st house is about the I am. It's the house of Aries, so it's all about yourself. And then the 7th house, of course, the opposite of who we are is who we are with other people. All right, so this is the Aries Libra opposition. That's what you have with Sagittarius. So, you know, I'd say that you're pretty expansive. Maybe that's why Geminis are pretty talkative people, pretty communicative, not other than being an air sign. Your 7th house is expansion. Okay, so you really like to expand yourself amongst other people, most of you. Some of you like to expand conversation with other people, or maybe you like to, you know, and if it's not that, then I would just think having an expansive 7th house means that you have a lot of people that you touch base with sometimes, or that maybe you have an online community that you communicate with, something like that. We'll see what the energies say, but just know that we have a lot of energy in your 7th house on the 18th. The moon, the sun are going to be there. Let's see. Venus is going to be there. Yes, Venus will still be there on the 18th. There's 5 planets in Sagittarius, so it's going to be Saturn. Saturn will be at the tail end of Sagittarius. Okay, so there's going to be, when Saturn reaches that point, there's going to be the last little bit of intensity there with Saturn. It's so, oh gosh, it's so weird for you guys to have restrictions on a place that's expansive. Okay, that is so polar opposite. Like, your 7th house is all about expansion. Sagittarius likes to make everything bigger. It's ruled by Jupiter. Okay, and then for that, so, oh my God, in the Sagittarius video, I'll talk more about how it's been for them to have Saturn in their sign, restricting their very need to expand. Like, Sagittarius probably wanted to expand something, and Saturn's just like, no. You know, like, that's intense. And I'm very Saturnian ruled. I have a Capricorn rising, and I'm also a Saturn sun natal. So I have both my sun and Saturn at 14 degrees. So I was born with Saturn right on top of me, like, what's up? So I get it. I get how it is to have Saturn across from you or on top of you, or just very Saturn restricting authority energy. It's all about the rules, all about regulate. I don't know. We'll talk about that in a different video, but just know I feel for you guys. That time is almost over. You know, you're going to have Saturn in a different area of your chart, so things can kind of flow a different way. Yaza, yaza. So we're done with that. So we can get kind of into your reading. I'm going to be changing the camera angle, guys, because I didn't do it for Aries, I don't think. But, you know, I found a way to show you guys the readings. Ooh, authority. Look what I cut the deck to right immediately. Saturn energy. So yeah, we're gonna get 8 cards from the Indigo Angel deck, you guys. So this is gonna be a longer reading. I understand if you guys can't watch the whole thing, or if you pause and watch it, but the readings look like they're gonna be about an hour and 30 minutes long, plus however long my intro is. So it's gonna look like a lot, but I don't know. I like to think my readings just kind of flow, and, you know, to be honest, I think no, I spent about 10 minutes on each video talking about the astrology. It's just important stuff, you know, important messages. And if for any of you are wondering, this incense that I'm using is Divine Blessings. Hold on here. Okay, wow. Oh, never mind. Here it is. Divine Blessings. I had it on the Spanish side first. I was like, what? Okay, so let me move my chair here a little bit. Alright, so this is for, whoa. Love yourself. Love yourself is coming up for a lot of people. And I didn't ask my cards yet to focus on your energy. So I'm telling you, this card has come up for Aries and Taurus, and now it's coming up for you, Gemini. So there's a lot of energy in the universe. This is a hard time. I don't know if that's, you are loved is at the bottom. You are special. Interesting. So let's focus here, because any cards that fall out beyond this moment, Spirit, I'm going to use for Gemini's reading. So I'm just going to shuffle a little bit more. I appreciate you showing Gemini that they are loved. So there is love in your life, Gemini. I hope you know that. The angels immediately wanted to show and express that to you. Whoa. Okay. Divine purpose comes out immediately. Alright, that has come up for Taurus as well. So this is just a time, you know, it's the end of the year, acceptance. So the acceptance of your divine purpose as well, Gemini. Woo, all your cards are just flying out for me. Thank you. It must be the incense. So we have exploring the acceptance of your divine purpose, and ashes falling on my beautiful angel deck cards. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Alright. So, first three cards. Oh, your energy is just flowing. Breathe this incense in. I was going to sage for your guys' reading too, but I saged at the beginning for Aries. And I set the intent for it to be for everybody. So, alright, let's get some more energy. Gemini, energy for December 2017. Thank you so much for clarity and for guidance. Gemini, Gemini the twins. Believe in yourself. Believe in your divine purpose. These are a lot of the cards that are coming up for Tarot Tuesday as well. Believe in yourself came up a week ago. And this is Sagittarius. Divine timing and divine purpose in the same reading. What? Wow. Ooh, friendship is coming out for you as well. That 7th house energy has to do with friends as well. What else do we have for Gemini energy? Please bring clear messages, God and Goddess, and higher ascended masters. Ooh, you are safe, Gemini. You are safe. Your energy is just coming out. Thank you. It's the incense. It's the moon. I don't know. Compassion. Ooh-wee. Okay, one last card for Gemini, and of course a beautiful... Ooh, what was this card that almost came out? Trust almost came out again, but it kind of flipped back over. Okay, so there's a lot about trust here. Ooh, and your last card is a flyer, and it is time to create. Time to create, Gemini. Ooh, and at the bottom of your deck, we have an apology. So we'll get into, and trust is right beneath that. So I'm going to put this over here. And now I'm going to say goodbye and lower my camera and turn it a little bit so that you can see the reading. And then that means there's all kinds of shit underneath my desk. So sorry to shake you around just for a minute. Okay, let's move this reading over a little. Beautiful reading. This is your first 9 cards, Gemini. We have divine purpose, acceptance, explore, believe in yourself, divine timing, friendship, you are safe, compassion, time to create. So if you heard anything came to your mind during that, me kind of, you know, saying any of those words, please heed your own intuition. Now there might be a glare, I'm not sure. It looks like a glare to me. Let me bend down and see. Nope, it's good. I'm going to move this down just a little bit, but not too much because we're going to need room here. We're going to get 9 more cards, Gemini. That's how I'm going to do the readings this month. So let's see here. This is for Gemini. This 2017, last month of the numerology year. Not the astrological new year, but the ending of a universal year 1. So let's see here, angels. Let's hone in on the 9 card spread I'm doing this month for Gemini energy, please. contacting Gemini energy in the universe, please. What messages can we talk to Gemini about on the last month of this year? December 2017 messages for Gemini, please. Alright, so we have the Nine of Cups and the Queen of Wands come out. Interesting. So some of you are going to get an offer of love from a fire sign. I don't know why I'm thinking Sagittarius, maybe because they're your opposite. Okay, so yeah, that did come out for some of you. And I'm going to focus my intent a little more. And I'm not going to use these cards for your reading, but just know that the Queen of Wands and the Knight of Cups is coming up. So there's a fire sign or a very passionate person offering you something of emotional value. Okay, so let's focus our intent here, guys. Any cards that fall out from this point, Spirit, I will place in the reading. So just please don't allow any stray messages to fall out, because they're going to be going in the reading. So I just want to focus the intent that every card that falls out will definitely be a part of Gemini's reading. And I trust that you will align those energies for me, Spirit. So, okay, the Star card for divine purpose. Whoa. I don't expect anything less, Gemini. Not this month. Not when there's a full moon in your sign. And this is the first week. I don't know if you can see it. But this first... Come on now. Everything's all topsy-turvy. Okay, I guess that's good. You can see the whole reading now. This first row right here is the first week of December, I want to say. Time is fluid and energy is fluid. Acceptance. Okay, interesting. Time is fluid. So this isn't only restricted. I'm not Saturn here, you know what I mean? I'm not going to restrict. I don't put rules on spirits. But the first, I'm going to read it like that. Ooh, Death card. Explore your transformations. Explore death, I guess. Alright, what other cards and energy do we have lined up for Geminis? Gemini. I always want to sing to you guys. Why is that? The twins. The Knight of Pentacles. Better believe in yourself. Believe in yourself like the Knight of Pentacles will. The King of Pentacles comes out with the Queen of Cups. Interesting. Some of you guys may be friends with water signs. And if you're not, in December, you might be Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups is coming out right here for a lot of people. So you are safe in your emotions, Gemini. You are safe in these new love opportunities. What else for Gemini? Looking for two more cards. We have the Magician, we have the Moon, we have Ten of Pentacles, and we have the Four of Swords. Obviously, I can't use this for your reading. Well, I'm not gonna. But this is a message that I want to explain to you guys. So we have Mercury here. This could be Mercury retrograde. This is the Moon coming up, of course, because Mercury and the Moon went retrograde at the same time. So it's pretty fucking awesome that these cards will come out for you, because this is Spirit saying, around that time, around December, there was full moons and the Mercury went retrograde. So there's certain completions here mentally, and you are the Magician, Gemini. So just know that you have enough resources to get you through. And then additional to that, we have the Ten of Pentacles, which is a completion. So the Moon is coming up here. There was real life. I see that a lot of your lives changed. This is real completions. The Pentacles are things that you can touch and see and feel. All right, and you're obviously going to need some rest because of that. So make sure that you're resting at the end of December, because you've had a long time coming with Saturn opposite your sun. You've had a long time coming with Neptune squaring your sun. It's been a really weird time. There's been a lot of hidden distractions as well, as what the Spirit is telling me with these cards. So you're going to get a kind of a break from that soon, coming the end of the month here, because that's the part of the reading that we've reached. So let's get two more cards here to complete this reading for Gemini in December. And then, of course, a beautiful bottom of the deck message that will tie into the whole reading. Can't believe I just caught those. All right, we have Leo coming out. We have Three of Pentacles, and right in between that we have the Hanged Man. So Spirit is asking some of you to see something from a different perspective. You definitely want to see your own strength. I'm going to move this up just a tad, if my computer will let me. Okay. So you're being asked to see, there could be some of you who are trying to see a Leo in a different light, you know. Some of you are trying to see your own strength from a different angle, because that's what the Hangman is about. Or you're waiting on a certain strong, you know, there could be strong teamwork. See the work you do with other people in a different way. See contracts in a different way. Okay, whatever that may mean to you guys. So, this is a Leo coming out, so some of you may be dealing with a Leo. Some of you may be working with a Leo. Okay, and you're being asked to see that from an enlightened perspective. Okay, the Hangman is all about seeing something from a different perspective. And for others of you, you just want to see your strength as a different perspective. Okay, your last two cards have popped out. We have the Queen of Swords and the Nine of Cups. So we're ending them. And then we have the bottom of the deck. Strangely enough, those three cards that I just talked about. Alright? So we have the Three of Pentacles, the Hanged Man, and the Strength card. And then you're poking yourself out. Look what I see for Gemini. I see the Lovers card. And I see the Six of Swords. Okay? So that is very interesting, and I'm noticing up at top they're the same. They both have a 6 up there. So Gemini must be the 6th card in the tarot deck, and then there's the 6th card. Oh no. For the Swords card, it's just showing you that there's 6 cards in that card. So this is 6 and 6 up there. That's a divine energy. I'm gonna leave that over here, Gemini. And if you're curious, under that there is a little bit of a guarded going on here. I see the 8 of Swords and the 9 of Wands. And then underneath that is the Empress. And then there's the King of Wands. And then there's the Wheel of Fortune. And then there's the Knight of Cups. So there's a lot going on there. But I'm just going to put these cards back because the bottom of the deck is the Three of Pentacles. And I'm going to need to relate that to the reading. But we're going to tie this in as well, because Spirit has showed me your card. And I had a premonition earlier this week that when I did your reading that you would come out. So let's get into the reading, shall we? And we're going to start where most people start, which is the beginning. So we start off your reading with divine timing. Now, this is a beautiful energy, okay? A lot of us around this time, you know, and it's no surprise because, you know, this is the year wrapping up. This is, you know, moving into new completions in times. You did have, and this is the very first week of December I'm going to relate it to. So that moon, you may have been thinking a lot more about your divine purpose around that full moon energy, right? I know I sure would be. That moon literally changed my whole entire life. Like, I kid you not, on that day and the day following the new moon, like, there was so much truth revealed to me, you know. And on every full moon, I take part in a spiritual burning. My spiritual burning that, you know, I combined every new moon and every full moon. So for the Sagittarius new moon this month, I will be writing down my intent. And I usually compare it to the type of theme. So for the Scorpio new moon, I made sure to make it all about emotions and things that I wanted to change about my emotions. So what I do is I write down my intent for my future. So on the Gemini full moon, I burned my Scorpio new moon paper. So for the Sagittarius new moon, if you'd like to do this with me, I can tell you that spiritual burnings are very, very powerful, and they've been working for me. I've been doing them for some months now. So on the Sagittarius new moon, I will be writing out things about my beliefs. I should have took part in some type of truth for Gemini. The Gemini full moon, it was just very, very hectic. You know, it was not hectic in a bad way, just a lot of truth here and there. My whole life changed, you know. My whole life changed completely. The truth came in a way that I will never be able to go back to the life that I was living. I'm not the same person. So, divine purpose. This is definitely coming up for you, okay? And we see this rainbow in the background, all right? So this is symbolic for the chakras. And it's also symbolic for, you know, harmony. The rainbow is actually also symbolized in the Ten of Cups. So, you know, there's always a pot of gold at the end of a rainbow. And that pot of gold is metaphorical. There's actually a lot of gold here. You have the Knight of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles, and the Five of Pentacles. So there is a pot of gold. It just might not be happy-go-lucky like most people think. So
Divine purpose is pretty straight to the point, but I see this angel kneeling, almost surrendering to her divine purpose. And she's kneeling beneath this rainbow of love and hope. And these are all the colors of the universe, right? These are all the colors of the spectrum. And I think that's symbolic for that, excuse me, everyone has a different divine purpose. You know, I don't know about you, but I wouldn't want to discover that someone had the same divine purpose as me, because I'd like to believe that I've been called to do certain things on my own. It's not scary for me. I'd like to believe that I'm special enough and unique enough to take part on my own journey. So the angel is kind of surrendering in a way. There's a little bit of sadness here. You know, she's hiding her head. And what I told Aries about this card is that if your head isn't up, if you're not holding your head up in confidence, you may miss a certain message about your divine purpose. But for your reading, Gemini, I just believe this is coming up because your divine purpose is very much being ignited. You know, that's the part of being Sagittarius is opposite. And it's also a part of being someone who had a full moon in their sign. So there's certain completions here. And just know that all of this has to do with your divine purpose. Anything that's happening in your life, even bad and good things, it's all a part of your divine purpose. The angels are really coming through and telling you this. So let's move on a little bit and we'll see where this ties in, because these cards are going to tie into it. These cards are going to tie into it. The middle of your reading is too. But let's take this how it goes. So we have the Star card coming up with your divine purpose. For a small select few of you, there is an Aquarius in your life that is divinely, it's on your divine path. I don't know if you're dating an Aquarius. This is an air sign. This is the South Node. Whoa, I didn't think about it like that. So from the South Node, you know, you could be dealing with certain divine purposes. So what I want you to do is be very mindful every time the moon is traveling through Aquarius. For my astrologer watching Geminis, you guys will know how to make sure to know when the moon is traveling through Aquarius. Some of you may have an Aquarius South Node or North Node. It doesn't really matter which one, but Aquarius is the South Node right now. So what I'm being led to say is that you're just learning from Aquarius, okay? And also, Aquarius is a fixed air sign. It's your sister sign. So Gemini, you're immutable. And this is so interesting because this came up for Taurus. Like the Virgo card came out for Taurus. And what I told Taurus is that they might benefit this month from being a little bit more mutable. So maybe the mutable signs could benefit from being a little bit more fixed, because, you know, the air card is coming up for you and it's the Star card, and Aquarius is very stable and they're very fixed people, okay? So it may benefit you to be a little bit more fixed when it comes to your divine purpose and when it comes to communicating that or replenishing that. And if it's not an Aquarius that's a part of your divine purpose, if it's not the South Node, I think for some of you there is a South Node message coming for you. And it's interesting that I don't know if I mentioned it in your reading, but I did mention I think of the chakras when I think about this rainbow. Okay, rainbows always remind me of the chakras that we have. Well, what's really interesting is that the Star card talks about the chakras. You see these stars up at the top? Well, this one is you. This is your North Star. Okay, and since there's a North Star in this card, I really do want to say that some of you have a North Node in Aquarius, and that's part of your divine purpose. Something there with Aquarius energy. And if you don't have a North or South Node in Aquarius, the South Node is in Aquarius. And you want to follow your North Star right now. You want to follow your divine purpose. This is talking about replenishing your chakras, especially because there's that rainbow that I showed you here. And that all these stars up at the top, I remember reading this about the Star card, is that this is all your chakras and then the middle one is you. So you want to be that shining star in your life. You are the star, okay? And you want to cleanse your chakras and things like that. Make sure you're replenishing. You know, and sometimes when we follow our divine purpose, we do feel rather vulnerable and naked. But it's about approaching your divine purpose in true form, right? Adam and Eve and all that. When people are naked in the tarot, I don't see it as bad vulnerability. I see you coming as you are. So Gemini is probably coming for their divine purpose in a very authentic way. You're not really hiding anything. This is also a faith card. This also talks about a wish. So, you know, some of you may have a certain wish when it comes to your divine purpose, or it may be a part of your divine purpose to wish fulfillment. It may be a part of your divine purpose. There's something there with wishing, okay? Some of you made a wish in the beginning of December. This could be the moon, something to do with the moon. You might have set intent, any rituals that you've done, any magic, because, you know, Geminis are low-key magic AF. So anything that you've done in December, just know that the universe has seen it, the universe has felt it, and has listened to you, and it's a part of your divine purpose. So I do see you here kind of surrendering to the wishes, surrendering to your faith, okay? I do see that. You're surrendering to your faith, which is a part of your divine purpose. Sagittarius is all about belief, so there's something here with believing as well, okay? And, you know, this card, she's pouring on the ground and she's pouring into the water as well, Aquarius. Aquariuses are the humanitarians. So it might be your divine purpose to serve others, Gemini. You could be some type of humanitarian figure if you feel that you're some type of, you know, service to the community, you know, astrology. Since it's the star card, this reminds me of astrology. Some of you may be astrologers and you may be pouring from both ends of the spectrum. You're pouring into your past and you're pouring into your future. And I'm saying that because on the full moon, Mercury went retrograde, and that's all about going back into the past, right? And for you, it happened in the area of your relationship. So wow, Mercury retrograde for everybody always brings back exes and things like that, or people from your past, unfinished business. So I see you really working this month on replenishing some old wounds. It could possibly be with an Aquarius, I'm not sure. If not, it's just replenishing old wounds that took away from you the stable air that you have. Because we are mutable signs, Gemini. I'm not Scorpio. You know, you're not Aquarius. But we can learn a lot from those fixed energies because they've learned how to master. You see how she's pouring from both ends. So this is replenishing your past and your future, which is, it's a very stable thing to do, right? But this is also about your chakras. And it's also about replenishing yourself when you were in a more vulnerable state. Okay, and it's service to community. And I had a thought here just a minute ago when I was talking, and I don't know if it had to do with Mercury retrograde. Yeah, I guess it did, you know, about going back into the past and replenishing your past and replenishing your future as well. So this is coming up, and it might be in your divine purpose to do that. Okay? So, you know, you're keeping the faith in the beginning of the reading. You're replenishing certain things. Let's see if I just get any more. Your divine purpose is about to take flight as well, Gemini. And I just see you guys either, you know, you're kneeling in both of these cards. In one of them, you're completely naked. So I feel that you're just really surrendering to your divine purpose. And you probably discovered a lot about it with that full moon. The chakras are very, 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 you know, you want to ground your chakra energy. All right. And of course, that Aquarius energy. Okay. So something divinely about an Aquarius. And also something there about stabilizing that air. So stable communication, stable mental thoughts. You know, when I was talking about me not being a Scorpio, it's because I'm a mutable sign. And, you know, maybe that'll come up for the Pisces reading as well. Moving on here. We have acceptance. So it's so interesting. This is a beautiful card here. And we have acceptance, all right? And then behind her, what do we see? This beautiful full moon. Okay, so this is the first row. So I'm really relating this to the first few days of December. And we know that the third day of December was all about the full moon in Mercury retrograde. So what I see in this card is a full moon behind her. And, you know, the full moons are about completions. They're about new beginnings. It's when the moon is completely filled with light. So when the moon is filled with light, the moon is, you know, Pisces is the moon card. And, ooh, I just opened the deck up over here to Temperance. So Sagittarius would like to be in your reading as well. And then underneath that, we have the Aries card. So Sagittarius and Aries are in your reading. And I'm just going to go ahead and leave this open because I love that Sagittarius just, I don't even know what compelled me to do that. Like, I just literally reached over here and cut the deck. And then here's Sagittarius. So I'm going to leave that there. So as I was saying, full moons are about completions and new beginnings. And, you know, when the moon is filled with light, the moon is all about what's hidden. That's what made me cut the deck. I don't know why. I just wanted to know what was hidden. And according to the cards there, the Ten of Swords is poking out too. So there may be some pain that you guys are trying to moderate. I do see some, you know, but whatever. Um, when the moon is filled with light, the moon is something that's hidden. In tarot, Pisces is the as the moon card, or Cancer. Cancer is ruled by the moon in astrology. So those are both water energies, and the moon can sometimes mean things that are hidden. In like, I have a Taurus moon in astrology. We all have a moon sign, and the moon sign in astrology is symbolic for what we hide, our inner feelings, our soul. Okay, so for you to have a full moon in Gemini, it's just so amazing, okay, because this is all relating to yourself. So there could be some self-acceptance going on here. And then with this month, what was interesting is that on the same day as that Gemini full moon, we had Mercury retrograde. And what I'm drawn to the flowers in the girl's hair here. So I'm seeing men and women, your crown chakra is just growing and flourishing. Something happened in the beginning of December where your mind is just ample. Like, you are just really, really, really thinking cognitively. And your mind, your mental, you know how I was talking about how maybe you need to communicate stably, or your mental clarity is stable. Well, I see that there was a lot of completions here mentally with Gemini, and a lot of new beginnings here. This looks like a very beautiful new beginning, some type of new thought or new idea that you had, and it's just growing. These are white flowers in this girl's hair. And it's interesting that they almost look, if you take a closer look, they almost look like water droplets, okay? If you take a real close look at that, it actually doesn't look like flowers. It looks more like water. So this could be emotional thought for some of you, but what Spirit was really showing me is that around that full moon, Gemini was just really, really expanding their thoughts. And that's interesting because we have Sagittarius expanding things right now. And this is Mercury going the retrograde in your 7th house of Sagittarius. So Mercury went back into the past in order to expand certain things. So it's really interesting as an astrologer to acknowledge what house Mercury is going retrograde in for you, because that's like kind of where you're going to be going back into the past, right? So this is very interesting for you, Gemini, because I see you guys standing here before the full moon. I see your minds really growing around the full moon, and there's certain completions. Okay, so you're accepting this. This is the card here of acceptance. So since it's right after divine purpose, and since it's right after the star card, there could have been some type of wish or faith that you kept in your divine purpose. I think a lot of you are keeping faith in your divine purpose, because I see a lot of faith in divine purpose, and then right here with acceptance. So how great, Gemini, that some of you are accepting your divine purpose, and you're accepting faith, and you're keeping faith and acceptance in your divine purpose. Just awesome energies. This is what happens when you have a full moon in your house and you're an air sign. Like, it just really, really benefits your mental stability and your communication skills. You know, no wonder you're coming up kind of as the Aquarius card, because you're just a little bit more accepting of your mental stability, I want to say. This moon really changed certain things about you. So I see that some of you are really accepting your own new beginnings and endings, okay? It's the last month of the year. We're headed into Saturn and Capricorn, okay? There's certain changes and things, and you've just really surrendered. That's why I see that lady really kneeling down, and that's why you're naked. Like, these two cards are really showing me that, you know, and surrender is not a bad thing, Gemini. Surrender does not have to be a bad thing. She's naked and she's kneeling, and that's prayer. That's vulnerability. It's not bad to be vulnerable when it comes to spirit. Sometimes when we make ourselves vulnerable to spirit, we receive certain messages that someone on the defense wouldn't receive. Okay? Some people, some zodiac signs are dealing with guardedness right now, but I see Gemini really letting down. You know, that moon really illuminated certain thoughts and ideas, okay? And I see that you're accepting that. You're accepting your mental growth. You're accepting the new beginnings and endings, because this is the moon here. So there's certain ways that you don't think anymore, and there's certain new ways that you do think. So this could be a change of, wow, some of you are changing faiths. Some of you could be thinking, it could be Aquarius related. You're changing certain faiths or something like that with an Aquarius involved, or just keeping faith in a situation. But Spirit is telling me that there's some changes that some people in your life might not agree with, and you never really thought that you'd be walking this path, but you know that it's a part of your divine purpose, and you're just pouring faith into your divine purpose. You believe in it. You believe in your divine purpose, and you believe enough in these beginnings. You know that you're where you need to be, right? So if you're a Gemini that feels like that, just know that you can accept that. and that full moon was really an acceptance, an aid for an acceptance is what I want to say. That full moon was an aid for acceptance, and it really just poured positive energy into you and your beliefs towards your divine path, divine purpose. Now, we do have a rather interesting energy to come up with acceptance. We have the Five of Pentacles. So I'm getting a number of things from this. Some of you could be accepting financial insecurity, or, you know, you could be keeping faith in a situation like, I don't have money now, but I know that I will. I might not have it in the beginning of the month, but I have it at the end of the month. My wish is, like, some of you literally can feel what I've put out here for you in a reading. You could be with someone else. There's a person here with you. You're really out in the cold, and it is interesting. Where I'm from Michigan, and it's snowing right now, and it's very cold. So this could be the harsh, cold winters, even though if you live in a different part of the world that's rather warm, this is a time of year when people become wintry. They want to go in hibernation mode. They want to go take shelter, and this is exactly what these people are doing. Is taking shelter from a really harsh situation. This is a sanctuary. You know, and it's talking about even in the darkest moments of our life, there's always a place of sanctuary that we can retreat to. And for these people, it's a church. So some of you may be, you know, Christian, or you know, you might be, and it is, you know, some of you guys celebrate Christmas. So around this time of year, it is a lot about faith, and it's a lot about church. So some of you could really be feeling really wounded, because this is very metaphorical. I don't see this literally as two people walking out in the snow. I see this as two people who have reached a very dark time in their life, and it's a very cold time. They're very wounded, and this doesn't have to be physically wounded. This is like emotionally or financially wounded, especially financially wounded. But what I'm going to channel this for you, Gemini, and what I really see this as for you is that you value your faith. Because I see that, and I've never interpreted this card like that, but, you know, it comes up differently in every reading. And I see that there's been some darkness here surrounding your faith at some times, and you felt really left out in the cold. It might have something to do with an Aquarius. You know, if the star card does mean an Aquarius. You know, I see for some of you that there's some type of Aquarius, something in your life that, it's interesting that I'm getting this message for some of you. There's some type of Aquarius figure or a more fixed character. It doesn't have to be an Aquarius, but they might not, you know, because the Aquarius card, it's kind of turned its back on you. There's an Aquarius who's turned their back on you, because this can be read in very many different ways. So you see how that, so it's either you turning your back on, and this is just coming up for those of you who did do that. Some of you are keeping the faith in your divine purpose, but others of you have turned your back on your own faith. And this is talking about, and I think this is more of a message about Mercury retrograde. And it might be some of the moments in life that you're returning to. So I don't think this is now, Gemini, but there was a time when someone turned their back on you and left you out in the cold because of a faith, okay? Like it has something to do with a church too, and Christianity or something like that. Okay, but for others of you, this is talking about being left in the cold and accepting that from certain people. So for some of you, you were left out in the cold by an Aquarius or by someone who's Aquarius-like. So they could be very intelligent. They could be very different and strange. So it doesn't have to be an Aquarius. Just anyone who's left you out in the cold. Someone you may have had faith in. Someone who you thought was a part of your divine purpose. Well, you know, they left you out in the cold. And I'm not really seeing this as some of you for a very, like, I'm thinking maybe 10 of you. Maybe 10 Geminis watching this, because it's going to be different for everybody. But maybe 10 Geminis, or just a small handful of you, really have accepted the fact that you're struggling with finances. But I really don't think that that's the main message Spirit is trying to tell me. I'm seeing this more as symbolism. That you valued a church, and it left you out in the cold. You valued some type of church or religion, but you started to feel left out in the cold in some type of way by that religion, and there's some type of completion there. There's some type of ending with one faith and the transformation into another faith. I'm really, really hearing this for you, and I have a few Geminis in mind that this message really does apply to, straight up, like it's kind of freaky. But this is the message that's coming out in December. So, you know, you're following your divine purpose, and you didn't care to leave the church. Some people read this card as as people going to the church. And for some of you it is. But for others of you, you're actually, you see, some of you don't know that, but they actually are leaving the church. And now it's interesting. You guys are all about truth. So it's like weird that I'm getting all this truth for your reading. So some of you were left out in the, it's interesting because it's like acceptance and being left out in the cold. So that's two polar opposites right there. So for some of you, you're accepted by a church. They took you in from being out in the cold. Others of you are walking away from a certain faith because you value something different. There's certain completions that happen. There's certain truths that you've discovered. You know, you are doing a lot of thinking here, Gemini. So some of you have different thoughts now about a religion. Some of you aren't going to be practicing the same faith because of your divine purpose leading you somewhere else. That's what I see. That's what my intuition is telling me, that full moon and that it's the time for Gemini this month. And it's all about, it's because it's Sagittarius season. It's because the majority of December is Sagittarius season. And it's all about what you believe. And it affects Gemini differently because you're the opposite of Sagittarius, okay? So it's like you went back in the past, you know, to a time when you were feeling left out in the cold and all you really wanted was acceptance, right? But it's about accepting yourself and accepting your own divine purpose. And if there's a church or a religion, or if there's a job, this could be a job too. I don't know why I keep reiterating that it's a religion. I guess it's just because Gemini is the messenger of God. You guys are ruled by Mercury, the messenger of God. And you guys are kind of angels. I see Gemini more as prophets, okay? And prophets sometimes walk a cold path. You know, think of the path of Jesus and think of the path of any strong leader in history. They all walked a path alone and they were judged. So there is something here about being judged for a new path that you're walking, and you're going to feel pretty left out in the cold for it, but it's going to be acceptance that warms you up. If you find the right people in your life that warm you up. And now for the other Geminis, I'm just going to try to offer myself to the universe to interpret that in any other ways. I'm led to this window. You see how the Five of Pentacles is on the church window? That's why I'm thinking that you value a different source of religion. Some of you value the religion that you're practicing. Some of you value something in your divine purpose. It's some type of practice. And I'm seeing that you valued it so much that you're walking away from it and accepting a new path, okay? Because your reading goes on and into it, you're exploring certain things, right? So, let's see here. I see that you made a wish. You kept the faith in your divine purpose. Some of you walked to or from a new religious practice, but either way, and if it's not that, guys, there's someone there that needs to hear that because it just keeps reiterating. Okay, but I need to move on. So others of you are just accepting a feeling of being left out in the cold. Anyone who's left you out in the cold, whether it's this Aquarius, and that some of you may be able to relate that Aquarius to this religious situation or whatever. But because, you know, I don't know, like Aquarius, it's all about faith. So if it's not an Aquarius card, you kept faith in your divine purpose and you accepted it, but then there was this left out in the cold feeling. So there's something there, Gemini. Someone didn't accept you. I keep seeing the acceptance card as a card coming out for you, because a lot of you are accepting yourself with that full moon. There's a full moon, so around the full moon, you know, you could have been thinking about times in your life, especially because Mercury was traveled backwards on that day. So it's like it kind of stole a little bit of our mental clarity a little bit, because usually full moons are all about clarity, but the fact that it was a Gemini full moon and also that Mercury went retrograde on that same day, it was like, oops, you're gonna have to wait until the 23rd to get the clarity. So, and that's so interesting that I say that, because around the end of the month you have the Queen of Swords down here, all right, and you have all this, you know, energy, but it's all good. Okay, we're gonna keep on going. So, you know, just accept any times that you felt like this, even if it was a religion that left you out in the cold, or if it was certain family members that don't agree with the religion you're whatever. You know, just know that you can accept yourself, and that you're a Gemini, and that you're going through completions and new beginnings right now. So in any moments in your life where you felt cold, left out in the dark and alone, you know, you're accepting that. You've accepted that certain people aren't a part of your divine purpose. They don't understand the faith that you have in a situation. They don't understand the completions and new beginnings that you're going through. So you're just going to accept. You probably even accept those people as who they are. Like, you're not even mad at them. You don't even hold a grudge. You're just accepting everything. And you know what I say? I say that acceptance is the key to life. So I'm really happy that you're mastering this, Gemini. And then we have explore. So it's so interesting what happens after we accept the darkness in our life, right? Because the Five of Pentacles represents darkness to me. It represents seeing things, you know, it's interesting that it's a pentacle card. A lot of people say that that card is a financial left out in the cold. Some of you could be dealing with financial struggles. I know that happens around this time of year, those of you who believe in Christmas. So there could be some type of comparison there, but it's interesting if you look at it in a way that represents our darkness. If you accept when you were left out in the cold, you really do warm your own self up, and so you're exploring new things. Some of you could be exploring new religions or new faiths, and I'm just saying that because it's Sagittarius energy, right? And it's really coming up for you. So, you know, you're exploring different things right now. This lady, it's like water under the bridge. Okay, so, all right. Whatever happened with this, it's water under the bridge with you. And you're ready to really walk in. So I see back here that this is 2017. And you're not even looking at that anymore. No wonder that you're too busy replenishing faith. So this might not be an Aquarius that turned their back on you. This might not be someone this might be you turning your back on the people who left you out in the cold. And I don't mean turning your back on them, but you're just not focusing on that. You're focusing on your divine purpose, you know, and so you're actually meditating. You know, I don't think in the Gemini reading that this is about you not seeing your divine purpose. I know for sure I can feel a different energy than the Aries video. You really do see you're thinking. Gemini is a thinker, so it's not bad that you have your head down. You're just trying not to focus on anything negative. You're just trying to feel, you know, your purpose. So here we have your back turned on other things too. And we see here 2017, and here is 2018. This is the future. This bridge represents the bridge of consciousness that you're walking. All right. You really are walking away from certain things and walking towards certain things. And I mean that for sure, Gemini, because look what we have. You are moving away from something this month, straight up. Okay. What did you expect with the completion of the full moon, right? So you're being guided by angels to explore certain things, you know, water, you know, certain bridges burned. All right. Sagittarius is a fire sign. Maybe you've burned certain bridges with people. It's interesting that this will come up with that Five of Pentacles left out in the cold. Sometimes when we're left out in the cold, we just accept it and we move on. And this is you moving on. And this is you exploring the new world that you live in. This is a whole new world, right? This is Sagittarius season. This is all going to be a whole new world in 2018. This is a new year. This is a new world we're living in. And so it comes out with the Death card. So what I'm seeing here is that you really want to explore the transformations that you've been through this whole year. This reading is all about 2017. All right? This is about December, but December is a month that reflects, okay? It's no mistake that we had a Mercury retrograde in this month. It's because Mercury, your ruling planet, wants us all to reflect on the year that we've had. So you want to explore the transformations that you've experienced this year, and in December especially. Some of these transformations happened on this full moon, and you've accepted that. You've accepted the completions, the new beginnings and endings that you've had. And with the Scorpio, this is the Scorpio energy. Some of you are exploring the 8th house. Some of you are exploring certain energies, and some of you are exploring with a Scorpio. There could be Gemini-Scorpio relationships. So you could be exploring, you know, because some of these mysterious aspects, some of you could really be working with some mysterious energies. But what the Scorpio card talks about, what this Death card here talks about, is that yes, death is and I talked about this in the Aries video. Death is a very hard thing for us to realize as humans, right? We all think of death differently, but the main thing is that I don't think that we die. I think that we transform. So for every death, there's a rebirth. For every ending, there's a new beginning. For every closed door, there's an open door. And that's why you're walking across this bridge. You're no longer stagnant. You're no longer wondering where things are going to go. You know, you kept turning around and waiting for certain people. But, you know, a lot of us have really stepped into self-realization this month with the help of certain planets. And Sagittarius season has been such a big help. Shout out any Sagittariuses that might be watching. But yeah, you know, this is a very transforming energy. And so you want to explore the rebirth of you. Explore the new you, Gemini. Explore the new you. Explore the new surroundings that you may have. Anything that's old or dead or anything that you've let go of, you know, you're really just, I see you really walking away from that and really looking forward to what it is that awaits for you. And I'm being led to see that there's a lot of water underneath this bridge. So I'm constantly hearing it's all water under the bridge, Gemini. And for those of you who don't know what that means, it means that, you know, that it's all okay now. Like you say that when something's just no longer affecting you, when you've accepted it. So isn't that weird? That comes up right in your reading. You've accepted the being left out in the cold. Now it's water under the bridge. You know, you can't always see the water under the bridge. It's still flowing. It's still there, but you know, it's all right. It's all, I don't know another way to say it. Like, no skin off my back, I guess. Like, it's all good. Yeah, there was some pain there. You left me out in the cold. Or maybe I wasn't doing so good financially, but instead of fretting, instead of instead of wallowing or, I don't know, regretting my past, I'm gonna embrace my future. And that's the transformation that's taking place with you guys this month, okay? So you really want to explore that. There's this bridge that you're crossing of emotions, and it's really allowing you to see things in a different way, all right? So, you know, death can be a very weird thing, and in this case, I really hope nobody's dealing with any real deaths in the family or friends or anything like that. But I don't see that. I see this as more so the death of certain people, places, and things in your life that you have to leave behind. You know, if you were to take everything with you over this bridge, the capacity might get too big and it might crumble and break, and you're not going to be able to get to the other side. So there is something here about Gemini getting to the other side of something. There's a lot of water that you're crossing. Okay, the moon can stir up a lot of emotions. You do have a lot of water in this reading. So there's a lot of emotions that Gemini is transforming, and you're kind of walking over these emotions, okay? So you want to explore that. Explore all of that. Explore what's no longer in your life and what it means for you. And there's also a lot of earth in this picture as well. I'm not sure if you can see that real good, but there's earth and there's water, so there's grounded emotions, and that's exactly what you need to move on and transform. So, you know, there is a beautiful message here about exploring the newfound transformations in the new rebirth that you're going through. Now, carrying on into the reading, we have Believe in Yourself. This card came up for Tarot Tuesday a week ago, and this card also came out in the Aries reading. So this talks about seeing yourself the same way that God sees you, okay? So God sees you as your divine purpose is already filled. It's interesting because this comes up right beneath divine purpose. This is divine purpose, and this is Believe in Yourself. So we're going to compare this whole road to each other and this whole road to each other. So we knew that we were accepting the divine purpose, and we're exploring this acceptance. We're exploring, you know, it's like these people really did accept that they were left out in the cold too. And they accepted that that part of their journey was a part of their divine purpose. Isn't that beautiful? You're reaching a part where you understand that this transformation couldn't have taken place if I wasn't left out in the cold, if I wasn't strong enough to accept the people and places and things that left me out in the cold. And I have faith that all of that, even the bad, was a part of my divine purpose. That is so beautiful. And so we have you believing in yourself here. Some of you may need the reassurance to believe in yourself come the second middle. We're about there right now. It's the 13th. So, you know, I'm saying maybe in the next few days, it's important this week. It's important for the next few days that you believe in yourself. And even those of you who are at the end of your rope, okay, going back to that financial insecurity, if you're a Gemini who is dealing with financial instability, you got to hang on. You have to believe in yourself. Do you believe in your divine purpose enough to know that the creator or that the universe or God or whatever it is that you believe in will replenish you when need be? Or are you scared that you're the person you believe in is going to let you be left out in the cold? There's something here with that as well. Okay, there's the fear here of being left out in the cold financially or something like that. And if it's not financially, this could be a heartbreak. This could be you dealing with somebody who broke your heart before, or dealing with a certain job that didn't work out before. It's something like that. Different for all of you. But you're dealing with something where before it didn't really work out that well. But you're being asked to believe in yourself the second week of December, because things are going to turn around. That's why you keep the faith in your divine purpose. It's in your divine purpose to believe in yourself. That's why you're accepting things right now and why you're exploring. So when you start off, when you reach the other side of that bridge, after exploring, you're going to find yourself in a spot where you have to hang on. It might be challenging. You might deal with certain things that are challenging, but this angel is hanging on. And even if she were to fall, she can fly. So not only that, but this card specifically talks about seeing yourself through the eyes of God. God sees you as perfect. He sees you as infinite potential. Okay, and that's why it's important that this is coming up beneath faith and divine purpose, because God is reminding you of your divine purpose. God never forgets our divine purpose, but He understands as humans we can sometimes forget our divine purpose because we get caught up in everyday life. But we don't want to forget our divine purpose, right? We want to remember that. And okay, there's a very slow moving energy that's coming out with the believing in yourself. So some of you may have really taken a long time. You might have been very protected. All right. And this might be for some of you Geminis that are dealing with financial insecurity or unemployment, things like that. Just keep the faith. Okay, there's a reason why the faith is coming up right here. Some of you need to keep the faith in a very financially concerning situation. Like you're wondering, I want to keep faith in my divine purpose, but I'm wondering how I'm going to pay rent next month. Well, please, please, please keep faith and pray, Gemini, and ask the universe for what you need. Believe in yourself that you're going to find some type of way. Some of you may have families that you have to support. You might be wondering, because I know not all of you are dealing with this, but some Geminis really do need to hear that money is going to be okay somehow. All right. And money is very slow right now. Okay. So believe in yourself that this money, it's slow, but it's coming in. All right. Things can't come to us until it's time. If this is what you come with to you too soon or too slow, just know that the universe is never late or early. It's always on time, right? So believe in yourself and hang on. Okay, this is a very strong message there for those who are at the end of your financial road. Okay, this is talking about keeping faith. We have the star card right above you, pouring water down onto you. If I put this card right here, it's pouring water, okay? And you know what? The water of the star reaches all the way down because we have the water. Aquarius is the water bearer. So it's pouring water on a financially slow situation, and it even winds up being the ebb and flow of the Ace of Cups. Like we have the Ace of Cups, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Star card all in one row. So this water is really, really powerful. And it's like either way, the Aquarius water is pouring into the Ace. So water is just like, So just know that when things, it's like a domino effect, and it will reach where it needs to go. You just need to have patience. So very slow energy coming in. So, okay, I was on a tangent here. I'm on a roll here because we have believing in yourself. This is a very slow energy, okay? This is someone calling you back about a job literally the day before rent is due, and you're like, fuck. But then you talk to your landlord and he gives you an extension on the rent, and it's okay. You know, certain blessings coming in for you. This is something really slow. Some of you have been looking to move for a really long time, and this literally comes in at the last minute. Like you're literally wondering where your family is going to be at in 3 days, and then a day before you're supposed to get out of a place, this person calls you and says, hey, you know, you can come live with me, or hey, there's an opening in this apartment, and you know, you can move here. Okay, so you kept the faith. As long as you kept the faith in the beginning of December, something's gonna come to you, and you're gonna realize why it took so long. And you want to know why? Right here. It's because of divine timing. There are certain things. Remember I said the universe is never early and it's never late. It comes to you in the right time, and it's so easier to keep the faith in a situation, even if we have nothing left, even if we don't even have 2 dimes to rub together, okay? Even if we don't have a house to live in, if we're cold, there's always someone there. The universe always gives us the tools that we need to get through a situation. This is a person who's very this is coming up right in the middle of your reading this month, Gemini. So just know that everything in the month of December and everything in 2017 was centered around divine timing. And, you know, I hope that you guys kept faith, because it looks like there was a really rocky situation in the beginning of December around that full moon. But come the second week, you're probably, all the worries that you had, the financial worries, it doesn't look like they're really a part of your life anymore. After you transform and you explore and you keep believing in yourself, this very slow money opportunity, this job or this house, something that you needed that was real and of value to you, it comes to you, and you realize that it was because of divine timing. And it's so interesting that we go from the 5 of Pentacles to the King of Pentacles. Okay, so we have the Knight of Pentacles and the Five of Pentacles, and then we have the King of Pentacles. So I do believe that this is your guys' energy. This is a job coming in for some of you, very slowly, okay? And you're a lot less financially protected now. Like, I see you very protected. You were even really protected during these transformations, because I see that this knight here, he has armor on. And then, and there's another thing here too with light and the dark, because we have a light horse and we have a white and a black horse. And you see how the armor gets a little bit lighter. Okay, so in the death card, we have you very vulnerable, right? And I remember telling you that when I see this card, I always think that you're a little bit vulnerable because of the nakedness. Well, we do have you being protected here. You're trying to protect yourself, especially during all these transformations, especially when certain parts of you are dying and being reborn. You know, you don't want to be too vulnerable. So you have this dark black armor on, but you're coming in with pure intent. And that was your chance. You want to explore that too. Explore the light and the dark. And then we have, interesting enough, a black horse with your armor just a little bit lighter. So when this financial or whatever this pinnacle symbolizes for you, someone very slow brought it in though. Like, it was almost too slow, but you really want to continue to believe and keep faith that you want to accept it. Accept divine timing. Accept the divine timing of your divine purpose. Because we have divine timing and divine purpose. So this is very profound. And I know that came in really slow, Gemini, but, you know, once it reaches you, you're going to realize that. And so there was a divine timing for you to be the King of Pentacles, okay? If you were that King of Pentacles any earlier or any later than you were supposed to, it would have caused really bad things in your life. So I see a little bit more of, if it's not financial stability, it's just you being more secure in your home life. The King of Pentacles has a really stable home life. He's really grounded with his finances. A lot of people think the King of Pentacles has an abundance of finances, but it's not that. It's that he has everything he needs. And it's because he's very stable. You know, this is a kind of a Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus energy. And I do know that the Virgos and the Tauruses are, I guess I don't know for sure about Virgo, but I do know Taurus's reading before yours, it had a little bit to do with financial stability. It had a little bit to do with being grounded. So if this isn't about money, this is about you being grounded. It's about going from no place to go, being left out in the cold, to having everything you need, to being the King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles handles the Five of Pentacles energy. Like, he's not afraid of this energy because he knows how to get himself out of it. He knows how to get his finances back in order and things like that. So, you know, it was very slow money. It went from the Five of Pentacles to this Knight of Pentacles delivering even more value or something like that, to you really, really being on top of your value. Even if you're a woman, Gemini, watching this, you know, you're really coming into this masculine energy of your finances, and it's in divine timing. So I do see in the middle of your reading here that that this was always destined for you. You know, you were always going to get this. And you just had to believe in yourself. You just had to believe in and have faith in your divine purpose. And, you know, I don't want you to regret anything. Don't regret if you were mad at spirit, or if you ask God, why is this happening to me? We always feel a little guilty after worrying, you know, after we realized that there was nothing to worry about. But at the time, you know, if these people questioned Creator or the universe, I'd understand. But at the same time, a part of me doesn't, because you always want to believe in yourself. You always want to believe in yourself. But I do love this King of Pentacles and this divine timing energy. For some of you, this is a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy, whatever that might mean to you, but it's coming in divinely, all right? So there's something here with finances, and look, now all your armor's off except for one little foot. So you are going to put your foot down when it comes to finances. I mean, this is interesting. We had armor here and armor here. And then it's so interesting that you're actually okay with being vulnerable now, and you just put your foot down. And when instead you were really protecting your energy and you were worried about that. So the Knight of Pentacles, you know, comes, and then there's just this little bit of hint of armor right there. Only his foot has armor on it. And the King of Pentacles, let me tell you, he handles finance as well. Okay, I wouldn't say he's too emotional of a person, which might be why you're not really that indulged in emotions right now, almost called you Sagittarius, Gemini. But I do see you, the center of your reading is about divine timing, and it's about becoming a grounded person in the right time. Grounded in your finances, grounded at your home. The reason why you weren't supposed to ground yourself or be financially secure in the beginning of the month was because there was a lot of exploring that the universe wanted you to do. You learned certain lessons when you crossed this bridge. You learned certain lessons when you let certain things die and when you let certain things transform. You were able to cross this transform. I see this as a bridge of transformation. I might title your video that. I might title your video The Bridge of Transformation. Unless I come up with a better title. So yeah, that's why divine timing is coming up here. Because if you were the King of Pentacles and up here, then you wouldn't have felt how it felt. You wouldn't have needed to resort to your faith. Because sometimes when it's so sad, but sometimes when we're doing okay, sometimes when we're abundant, we don't talk to God as much, or we don't appreciate things. So we had to get put in a darker time in order to appreciate the good that is coming in your reading. Okay, Gemini? So let's move on here to, we have this friendship card. So there's something here with divine timing. You could be friends with either an earth or a water sign. So if you are friends with an earth or water sign, they're coming up here in the reading. If not, these are just emotional friendships. So Spirit is saying, Gemini, you may want to seek out more emotional friendships. I'm not sure how you guys are in the friendship department, but that is coming up. I think that comes up energetically for people around the end of the year, because it's like, well, I feel like we all lose so many people around this time. So naturally, as human beings, we just kind of want to replenish those relationships. So okay, this could be replenishing certain friendships that you have with other people. The Queen of Cups is very nurturing, and she's very caring and very emotionally stable. She's very kind. So this is about applying all of that to your friendships. So if there's certain friendships that need help now, especially since you're the King of Pentacles now, Gemini, like if you have the financial stability to help people out that helped you out when you felt like this, it might be certain friends that are coming up in the middle of the month that need your help. You know, some people don't have enough money and they want to get Christmas gifts for people. I don't know. So, you know, this is either you nurturing your friendships and offering emotions to your friendships, or just being there for them in a caring way. Or this is friendships coming in, offering that to you. You know, you are coming out of a pretty harsh time. People don't know. Not everybody's an astrologer, so not everybody's going to understand that you guys had Saturn across from your 7th house. So this might be around the time when Saturn enters your 8th house instead of your 7th house. So I really do feel like around that time, around the 19th, when Saturn moves out of your 7th house, you're going to feel a more loving energy from the people around you, because the 7th house is about friendships as well. It's about the people. You know, we can't get caught up too much on the friendship, because this is relationships and partnerships. That's what Spirit is trying to tell me. But there isn't a partnership card, right? There's a friendship card. So the people in your life, there's going to be emotion that returns there. You might not have known, Gemini, that Saturn was doing that to you. But I do believe in the middle of December, you're going to feel a lot more love come back in to the department of your friendships. It may be the returning of a friend that maybe you had a falling out with, certain transformations that you went through. Maybe you had to move away, but these friends come visit you. But I see this is good energy. I love this for you. So that's coming up right after you get control of your, that's perfect. You get back in control of your finances, you get more grounded, everything's in divine timing, and then boom, it's like the wish that you wished for, it has something to do with here, and you're healed, or you're nurtured, or maybe you have a really close friend that's a Scorpio, Taurus, or Pisces, or you have a really close friend that's a Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancer, okay? And if you don't, those look like really good friends to have. And if not, you can be friends with anybody. It's just emotional friendships and the love and empathy returning back. It's interesting that we have the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles, because there's some type of grounded, maybe one of the friends are grounded, and either you are grounded in handling all the finances, or you're the emotional one and the nurturing one. But there's a union here, whether this be friendships or love or whatever it may be. But I see, and this is a masculine and feminine energy. This could be both your twins, Gemini. This could be one twin feeling grounded and stable and in control. But you know what? It's also interesting that this is an opposition, okay? Because what I say about the friendship card is that you see how they're different skin colors, okay? This is kind of an opposition here. And I love this because I'm a mixed person, you know, I don't like segregation at all. And there's so much race wars going on right now. So this is about the joining of opposites. And hello, you're going through that with Sagittarius and Gemini. You know, that's an opposition. Earth and water are opposites in tarot. So it's very beautiful that this king and queen would come out, because this is a feminine energy. This is about also balancing your feminine and masculine twin, because the masculine is all about stability, it's all about grounded, it's all about finances and logic. But then there's the feminine side of the world that's more like the Queen of Cups. It's passionate, and I guess passionate would be more of a fire word, but she's compassionate, and she's nurturing and kind, and she's a healer. Okay, so these two people together are really good. So I don't care what sign you are or what sign she is. I just see that you're with someone. You're with a good. If this is a relationship, you guys balance each other out pretty good. Whether you be the grounded person or the emotional person, I'd love this. This is beautiful. I've never had these two cards come out together, but I really am a fan of this relationship. And if it could be a friend, it could be you and a friend teaming up. Some of you may be roommates, but one of y'all is the earth and one of you are very watery, you know. So, you know, that is, and it took divine timing to get that kind of union together, right? You guys are friends and lovers, so that's beautiful. All right, so we have you are safe. You are safe, Gemini. This message is very straightforward. We have this white horse returning. So the other card in the deck that has a white horse is this Scorpio card, this transformation. So it's interesting that at the beginning of your reading, you came in. This is purity, okay? And you are safe in your purity. You're safe in your own light. You're safe in the purity of the transformations that you explored. So this is coming up, and the spirits and the angels around you want you to know that you're safe with all these things. You were safe the whole time. Even though you felt like your divine purpose was astray, even though you were exploring really mysterious areas of your life, even though you were in a very dark area, you know, at some points in this year. This isn't just December. So I'm seeing that in some areas, at some points in 2017, you really questioned whether you were safe or whether you were protected. Okay, so that's the same thing. Being safe and feeling protected is the same thing. And it's interesting that this is coming up in the same row. Remember I told you that the Aquarius waters was pouring down. So you kept faith, okay, Gemini? You kept faith, and the waters are pouring down. And it's interesting that the Aquarius card, there's someone naked, right? Because you felt vulnerable, but you're safe in your vulnerabilities this month. You were safe the whole time, this whole month, even though it didn't feel like it. And at the end of the month, you're going to be really reassured. You're gonna really, when Mercury goes back direct, you're going to realize what all this meant, okay? And I'm just seeing here that you're safe. You know, this horse looks pretty, I'm surprised that this card wasn't validated by some type of knight card, because the knight cards always are, they're usually, except for the Knight of Pentacles, okay? He's not drawn out like, but the Knight of Wands, the Knight of Swords, they both are charging forward. So this looks like a rather scary, but you're just charging forward the transformations that you were also riding this white horse in the beginning of the reading, and you were riding this horse and exploring new things. Now you are safe, and there's some type of new love as well, Gemini, because this is the ending of December, okay? And I see the Ace of Cups here as fulfillment. This is emotional fulfillment, so you are safe with your emotions, Gemini, and you are safe with new love, okay? If there's any type of new love and this could be around that new moon, okay? I told you that the new moon in Sagittarius in your 7th house is happening on the 18th, okay? This is a little bit later than the 18th, but energy is fluid, all right? So I do see this could be the last day of December for all I know, but I really do feel that for some of you, there's some type of new love coming in. And remember the cards that popped out in the beginning of your reading was some type of love offer with the Knight of Cups coming from the Queen of Wands. So some of you could be dealing with a fire sign. And it's interesting because that's the only queen or king that we're missing. We have the Queen of Swords, the Queen of Cups, and the King of Pentacles. But the Queen of Wands wanted to come out for you as well. So there's some type of fire, water, and air going on. And if it's not a new love, this could be a current love. This could be somebody who was with you during all the left out in the cold, during all the transformations and all the financial instability, during all your emotions, being your friend. You might start loving. This happened for Taurus too. Taurus, there was friendship, and then it was right by this Ace of Cups. So what that's telling me is some of you may start going to the next level with a friend. You might be like, hey, I kind of like you, you know, and it might be a little scary, but you are safe. You are safe. Whatever this Ace of Cups is, you're being asked to drink from it, Gemini. And, you know, you are pouring a lot of waters out in this reading. You have the Star card pouring the faith out. So since you pour, all your faith is being returned to you. You poured yourself into a situation, and you even got through a time of really cold, all right? And now the universe wants to reward you with new love and emotional fulfillment. This is also reaching a time in your life where you actually feel comfortable in your emotions. And it's so interesting that the Queen of Cups has come up. So even if you're a man, this is your energy, Gemini. I mean, the King of Pentacles is also your energy. It could be you or someone around you. This also could be you or someone around you. Okay, but since it came right before the Ace of Cups, I'm seeing that, you know, the Queen of Cups is someone who really does have a good hold on her emotions. She knows what she feels. She's not very easily emotionally manipulated. And so right after that, we have this abundance, you know, and the Ace of Cups is a symbol for someone who's coming out of an emotionally cold time. So we had you up here a little bit avoiding your emotions and just crossing them. It's water under the bridge, right? Well, when Mercury goes back direct, it might no longer be water under the bridge. You might have certain clarity over why certain things happened. And because I'm saying this because the Ace of Cups symbolizes a person who went so long without wanting to show their emotions, and now they're really ready to share their emotions with someone. You know, and that's really Queen of Cups feeling. So if you feel that at the end of the month, Gemini, just know that it's in the universe. It's in the universe for you to feel that way. So you are safe with these new emotions that you feel as well, okay? You really are. You're safe in your emotions. You're safe in your emotional fulfillment. You're safe with this new love opportunity. It's all looking good, okay? It really is. So we have compassion coming up here. And it's interesting that we have this happening. Remember, I just used the compassion word for this Queen of Cups. So there is someone in your life that is rather compassionate, whether it be a fire sign or a water sign or whoever it is. They're very compassionate, or it could be your energy. But you see these two people here? This is divine lovers. And it's so interesting because we have this Queen of Pentacles, King of Pentacles energy. And they're all flopping and flipping right now, but Queen of Pentacles, King of Pentacles energy. So, and this is looking like a sacred union to me. This is looking like when you fall, I'm there to pick you up. When I fall, you're there to pick me up, okay? And that brings me back to the beginning of this. So if you went through something with somebody in December, you know, just know that that person is always there to ground you, and they're your soulmate. So I don't know if some of you went through all 2017 with somebody, but there's a compassionate, you're sharing compassion with someone, and it's so cool that this came up. You needed to know that you were safe first, and you have all this new love and emotion. Now this is coming up with the Ace of Swords. So for some of you, this is about communicating your compassion. For others of you, this is about mental stability and mental clarity, going back to the beginning of your reading. So some of you are at the end of the month, you'll be really compassionate about your thoughts. So this is compassionate thoughts, okay? Instead of that kind of rough Mercury retrograde and mental anxiety thoughts, you're going to be like the Queen of Swords. And you're going to be cutting things out of your life in a compassionate way. Isn't that beautiful? You know, where it was water under the bridge before, maybe you turned your back on a few things, but now you're like not even turning anybody away. You're just communicating. Like the Queen of Swords doesn't take any bullshit. She doesn't really care too much for emotions. So we do have a polar opposite here. We have a rather emotional individual and a rather cold, logical individual. I like the Queen of Swords. I don't think she's that cold. She is coming up in the same row as this Five of Cups. So there is some coldness. This guy doesn't have much feelings, okay? And I don't know about you, but when I'm feeling this kind of energy, I don't really want to have that many emotions either. Okay, so there's some emotional protection going on here, but I understand that. And it kind of gets replenished within a friendship or with some type of lover, and then with this new love coming in. So the Queen of Swords, you know, she's all about mental clarity, all right? And this is what you're going to want when Mercury goes back direct. You're going to have a lot of mental clarity. The compassion is going to return to life. You might even be communicating with someone compassionately. You know, I see a lot of different things here. For a select few of you, I see that you need to choose between the King of Pentacles, the Queen of Cups. You guys might have, like, if you're a man Gemini, then and if you're a heterosexual male Gemini, then I see that you have the Queen of Cups as a friend, and then you have the Queen of Swords beneath you. So you could have some type of Aquarius, Gemini, Libra woman in your life that you need to choose from, and you might also have a Scorpio, a Cancer, or a Pisces woman. So for instance, for example, there could be a Gemini out there who has a Pisces friend that he's starting to develop feelings for, but he also really likes the Libra woman that he's been with for a long time. So there's so many different reasons. I'll be here all night explaining all the different spiritual messages. But, you know, you really want to just heed your own intuition. There's someone of emotion in your life, but there's also mental clarity. Or these energies can all be you. So if you're a female Gemini, you do have a King of Pentacles in your life. You also have a Knight of Pentacles, but he might move a little too slow for you. And this doesn't have to be Earth energy, guys. This can be any sign that is going to have the characteristics of these signs. So for instance, the Queen of Cups doesn't have to be a water sign, but this person is very emotional, very compassionate, like they love you a lot. King of Pentacles doesn't have to be a guy, it doesn't have to be an earth sign, it's someone who's just really grounded and logical. Now the Queen of Swords doesn't have to be a bitch, she doesn't have to be a Libra or an Aquarius or a Gemini, she can just be someone who seems really mentally clear, who communicates with you very well. So I do see compassionate communication with this row of cards, okay? And I think that's because Mercury is going to leave you guys alone, you know. I don't know how you guys handle Mercury retrogrades, but you see how there's a little bit of clouds in the Queen of Swords? Well, she's going to cut through that mental anxiety and that mental lack of clarity in a compassionate way, to the point where she's just calling it like it is. And this is very needed communication. After Mercury goes direct, all of this shit that we went through, Gemini, you're really going to need to communicate it, especially because we have you transforming a lot up here. So you're going to need to tell people, you know, the different bridges that you've crossed and the different things that you've left behind. Okay? And you're going to have the Queen of Swords there to help you with that. So this is the ending of your reading here, almost. But I say that because I love this card. This space right here is pretty much how December is going to wrap up for you, going into the new year. So we end the reading in the year with time to create, Gemini. So I'm loving that you pretty much use all these energies that you've experienced this month, and rather this year, to create something out of it. So I don't know, you can create anything. It doesn't have to be just paint, it doesn't have to be writing, but I'm seeing music for some of you. So for an example, make sure you use your own intuition. But this might be a Gemini who raps about what this time period felt to him or her. Or this might be a Gemini that raps about the transformation that him or her has been through. All right, that's a really good way to put it. Or this is a painting that you paint. It's time to create. It's time to create something, Gemini. You've been through what you've been through because of your divine purpose and because of your divine timing. You believed in yourself, you know. You have all these energies and this compassion, and you're safe. You're safe to create. You're in a very good position, okay? And at the end of this month, I feel like a lot of your troubles, it's like you really leveled up, okay? And you've done what the universe has asked you to do, and you'll kind of be left alone a little bit for a while. So you want to use that time to really just focus on yourself and to go inwards and create. Whether you're an artist, whether you're a singer or a rapper or whatever, just create. Create something, okay? For some of you, this could be a child. You might be creating a life. I don't know. But it's interesting that you're creating something out of emotional fulfillment, because it's so awesome. The beginning of your reading was starting with a wish. These are 2 wish cards, Gemini. So focus on these cards and really, really accept this. It's so weird that I said accept, because that was the second card in your reading. So you really want to accept this. This is a part of your divine purpose, okay? Keep faith in this. Keep faith in emotional fulfillment. Make sure you're keeping faith in the wishes that you had in the beginning of the month, because I see them come to fruition at the end of the month. You're going to have everything you need to create whatever. If you create a new house or a new apartment or a new family, whatever it is, the sky is the limit. And actually it's not. You know, we have a large, large universe. So I'm loving that you start the month off with this star. And if the star isn't a wish, Because it is. We do wish on stars, right? This is about following your North Star. I think that's the thought that I had earlier. It was kind of bugging me throughout the whole reading. But, you know, you want to follow your North Star. I think I even said that to you. Okay? So if you do keep faith and if you follow your divine purpose, you're going to wind up in a place of emotional contentment. And this is a wish card. This is a good luck wish card. And it's interesting that it comes right below the Queen of Cups. So you can apply that Queen to this. She's going to know exactly what to do with these Nine of Cups. And this is coming in the row of transformation. And I see that because you go from a person who doesn't have very much at all in the beginning of the month to having everything you could ever possibly want. Okay? Now, just real quick here. I do believe that these cards came up as a symbol to tell you, Gemini, you know, there are certain things that you're moving away from this month. And this keys into the bridge. This keys into the transformation. This keys into acceptance and believing in yourself, right? The Six of Swords there, the guy in the boat, you know, he's not too happy about what he's leaving behind, and neither is the woman who's covered herself up. You know, this is about going on a journey with somebody. Maybe you're going on a journey with a lover or something like that, and you're taking your family to a better place. So what the Six of Swords talks about is, it talks about moving from rocky waters to stable waters. So it's interesting. I keep seeing that bridge. So it is water under the bridge, Gemini. You see how right there in the corner it's very, very rocky water? But out in the distance, it's very clear. So you just want more mental clarity, because we can't forget that this is a sword card. So this is about the decision. This is about moving because emotions, I love this card because it kind of shows you how emotions and mental clarity go hand in hand. The reason why the water is rocky is because they made a decision to leave something, and it's kind of with regret. But they know that they're leaving for a certain reason. So this could be moving houses, moving jobs. It's like you're going to miss. It's like, you know, you want to take what you can and leave what you can't. Okay? You're rowing yourself across this, you know, this is you crossing a bridge in a different way. Only this time you have a small child with you and some type of woman. I see a woman there and a small child. So Gemini, you did what it took to get you and someone else across a river, okay? And we have your energy attached to this. So Gemini really is leaving certain things this month. And the angels are obviously guiding you, masculine and feminine. And I'm very proud of you. And it's like, I didn't even say that. That might have been something else using me to say that. But you've come through a lot of great deal. You know, this card right here, I'm sorry. This card could represent the whole entire year. Like this body of water could very much be 2017. I mean, it did seem kind of like an emotional year. But Gemini, you know, you're really making, you held on to your mental stability, and you made the right mental decisions to get you to the foundation that you're at now. So I love that was a message for you. The sun is shining, and we have that Lover's card for you. And I know that's the Gemini card, but it could mean, you know, leaving with a certain lover somewhere, moving with a lover this month to a new place, or whatever it is. You start off rocky, and I see that in your reading a lot, where the energies are, I just feel better than when I started reading. I felt your energy in the beginning, and it was kind of rough, and I felt your energy now at the end, and it's not as rough. So real quick to cap off your reading, I wanted to talk about the underlying energy. So we have an underlying energy for the regular tarot for the Three of Pentacles. So make sure you relate all of this energy today. This whole reading has an underlying energy of the Three of Pentacles. So to me, that means that there's an underlying energy of working together with others, right? You're not alone. You don't really seem alone in most of these pictures. There's more than one person. There's only a few cards where there's one person. But we have compassion here, where you're obviously sharing love with someone else. Make sure that you're communicating, because the Queen of Swords kind of wanted to cross, she wanted to go sideways. So just make sure it's not a challenging aspect. You want to communicate throughout the month, and definitely at the ending. And this is talking about working well with other people, okay? So this is teamwork, and this might be what you head into January with, but if it's not, it's just talking about, shared finances with certain people. This might be with the partner that you're with. But just know that there's a hint here of working with other people, certain contracts, and you know, things are going to go according to plan if you see them from a different perspective. And then, of course, we have the Temperance card over here as well that made its way into your reading. And now I'm opening the deck to the Moon card. So there may be something here with a Pisces. Some of you may be dealing with... So right here we have Jupiter. Isn't that cool? Sagittarius and Pisces. So maybe Jupiter just wanted to speak to you. And Jupiter is in Scorpio. So that would be your 6th house of lifestyle. So just know that your lifestyle is expanding, Gemini, and that you're going to be in a lot better of a spot come the end of December heading into January. Now, the bottom of the deck for this deck is apologize. This is the one I really wanted to get to. So there is an underlying energy here of apologizing. And I'm really seeing this more so as apologizing to Spirit, because he's praying. And this is an angel, right? And you guys are angels. So this is you, Gemini. I feel the need that some of you feel bad for maybe some of the thoughts or maybe the lack of faith you had in the beginning of December. Or maybe you want to apologize and move on from the lack of faith you experienced in 2017. Just know that Spirit always understands, you know, why we think certain things. And it understands how in a vulnerable state we may not have as much faith as we need, okay? So don't beat yourself up too much, Gemini. And you're also naked here again. So I really do apply this to the Star card. Some of you want to apologize for the lack of faith or the lack of emotions you had in a situation. For others of you, this is an apology coming in December. You know, there could be people coming to apologize for you. Some of those nurturing friends, there's some type of an apology. And I'm not really sure what that is, but we have trust underneath that. So trust and you already know. So there you go. You want to trust in what you already know. And I don't really need to explain anymore because Spirit is telling me that Gemini knows exactly what this apology means. So if you receive an apology in December, know that it's in your divine purpose as well. And also, you know, what's coming up in my mind right now is that it's all water under the bridge. So if you get an apology, it might be very powerful if you just say, you know, man, I forgive you, and it's all water under the bridge. You know, so many things have changed that it's all good. I understand. I accept you. I accept you. I think that someone who left you out in the cold in the beginning of December or perhaps the beginning of the year or whatever, they're going to come back and apologize to you. They're really sorry. And just say, you know, it's all water under the bridge. I've already explored, you know, the meaning behind all this, and it was my divine purpose, and I don't have any ill will towards you. I do believe that some of you are going to get an apology from an Aquarius or from an intellectual figure. And if it's not an Aquarius, it could be anybody. So accept the apologies that you get, all right? You want to value the apologies that you get, because I have apologize here, and then we have acceptance also in your reading, all right? And there's a lot of healing that wants to take place in your reading. And we can't heal until we accept, Gemini. So if you're still there, that was your reading for December, guys. And it feels great. It feels like a good energy. I'm really liking the energies for this month, and I'm so happy I got to your guys' reading tonight. And I hope I covered everything. This is a very, very expansive time. This is a very intense time for all of us. We're all going through changes, and I wanted to do the best that I could at honing in on everyone's individual energies. Your reading seems pretty powerful, Gemini. I was looking forward to seeing the energies, you know, because you had that full moon. So I definitely wanted to make sure you were one of the first readings that I did. I do them in order, but I had to make sure I got you in with Taurus and Aries. So really happy I got to speak with you guys, and I hope you stuck in and hung in. This reading gets pretty long. They're going to be longer videos this month, but what can you expect with all these energies going on, with it being the last month of 2017? I mean, there's just so much to cover, and I hope I did a well enough job. I would really, really love it, okay? I would love it if you guys would comment below. Even if you have negative criticism, even if there's something that you didn't really like that I did, you know, even a thumbs down, whatever, it's all good, because it's feedback for me. And it matters to me because this channel, I'm very passionate about it, and I'm looking to furthering my career in tarot in 2018. I'm going to be doing personal readings soon, things like that. So it's something I'm very compassionate about, you could say. Maybe I'm the Queen of Cups in your reading. I don't know. Just kidding. But Okay, Gemini, this was your reading for December, and I do hope that it was helpful. Whenever you watch this, I hope that you have a good night or a good day, good afternoon. If you watch this early December, I hope that you have a great rest of the last month of the year. Make sure you go into January with a clear state of mind and with faith and acceptance, and all will be well, my friends. And I cannot wait to talk to you guys more in January. All right, guys. See you later. Thanks for sticking around.